AI for social good as a theme, right? So wanted to hear from you about interesting examples that you would like to share, as well as how is it like we already talked about how to convince business, right? And how to trade off between long-term and short-term business impact. And when you're convincing the business about supporting research with a view on having a societal impact, it's even harder, right? So, wondering how you would tackle some of those hurdles to support research for social good.
Sure. So the nice thing here is, in this case, I didn't need to convince the business. In fact, I talked about two people. So when Google hired me to start the new research lab, they also hired a very, very distinguished researcher, Milind Tambe, who's a professor at Harvard, in a joint appointment to lead the AI for social good program, right, for us. So when Milind and I got started, I mean, there was no other researchers around. So Milind had this brilliant idea. So right after joining, he ran this workshop where we invited a whole bunch of NGOs, nonprofits, and a whole bunch of academic researchers. And we simply did matchmaking. We asked the NGOs to specify problems where AI could be applied to make a difference, and we paired them up with academic groups. So we started 6 projects that way. And by the way, this year, Milind said, okay, 6 is too few. So this year we have actually started 30 new projects, this time covering not just India, but also parts of Africa, Southeast Asia. And in fact, this time we have researchers also from the US, Australia, all over the globe, apart from India, of course, joining these efforts. So just to give you one example, where we have been kind of growing our relationship with this nonprofit and people that I really admire, is this NGO called Arman, co-founded by, again, one of the co-founders is Dr. Aparna Hegde. So what she herself is a doctor, and from her experience during her residency, she kind of started this NGO to improve maternal health. Especially, she shared some very sobering statistics that in India, there's a woman in today's day and age, there's a woman who dies in childbirth every 15 minutes. There are 2 children under the age of 5 who die in India every 5 minutes. I was shocked. I mean, you don't realize you have these problems. So what Aparna and her team did was very simple things. So they have these voice messages that get delivered over the phone. So they enroll expecting mothers into this program called Mitra. And every week of the pregnancy, there are a couple of messages that get delivered. And a message could be, oh, you're in this particular week. It's very important for you to take an iron tablet so that you reduce your risk of anemia. Or, oh, now your child, and then also during the first year after the child's birth, your child is now 3 months old. Please make sure you enroll in this particular government program and take your child for this particular vaccination and so on. And women who stick with this program, they have showed through randomized controlled trials that they have better outcomes for themselves and their babies. But many women, for various reasons, end up dropping out of that program. So Milind is an expert, and they said, look, we have a few human volunteers who call up these women, but we are enrolling, like, say, if we are enrolling 25,000 women, right, in a given week, we can only barely reach maybe of the order of 500 women through our human volunteers. So which are those 500 women, right? We should prioritize for the human volunteers to reach. So Milind, again, and his team developed these algorithms, based on restless multi-armed bandits, to see, okay, looking at, again, all these transition probabilities, there's something called a Whittle index that you try to compute and so on. And there are challenges because you don't know the transition probabilities of some of these bad to good state, kind of what's the probability of a woman going from about to drop out to staying in the program. So So with this, again, our team has developed these models, and we recently ran a trial with 23,000 participants, and we showed, again, through this randomized controlled trials, that you could actually cut down the disengagement levels, right, by a factor of 2, which was, again, a huge kind of a win, because that is going to now result in so many more kind of hopefully save lives and better health for the mothers and their babies. And we are excited about both scaling it to eventually kind of millions of women, which is where Arman wants to go, but also start working on new problems like child malnourishment and others.